We've also got like a little bit of an appearance of Bingo Lady Sarah here.
I know.
Still recovering from some allergies, actually, is what it is.
Well, it's like it was a cough turned into now seasonal allergies because the pollen is really bad right now where we are. And yeah, I have like this constant tickle in my throat. And so when I laugh, I sound a little bit like Bingo Sarah.
You were like Marge
Bingo
Simpson
Lady
there
Sarah.
with the...
I know.
Oh, there it is.
I know.
Wow. That's going to be fun, this podcast. Welcome to the Rom-Com Rewind podcast.
Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Devin.
And like you, I love rewatching movies over and over again.
You made it to us. You found us. You love romantic comedies, which is great news because we do as well.
So this is a show where we rewatch rom-coms, break them down a bit for you, maybe take a peek behind the curtain, dig beneath the surface, and decide, does it still hold up?
Today we have
The Fall Guy.
And if you're ever wondering how you can, be more a part of the pod, maybe you want to reach out, maybe you have some opinions about our opinions. Our girl Sarah responds to 100% of the DMs that you send on Instagram, so guaranteed, if you want to talk to us, you can do that at Romcom Rewind on Instagram. You can also follow us on TikTok. We have a message from Amy who says, "Hello. I discovered your pod a couple months ago and have been binging since. Wonderful, lighthearted listen while I work as a gardener." We seem to be a lot of people's workplace
I love it.
companions.
And I'm so happy to be a part of your everyday.
Which is funny because while we're recording this, obviously we're just hanging out in the studio talking to you. But it's weird to think like somebody right now listening is just like...
running,
doing their
gardening,
work. Yeah, exactly.
hanging out at work, working.
Amy goes on to say, as a rom-com connoisseur, if you will, she says, I have to recommend a fantastic new one I just watched, Puppy Love.
We have had this movie recommended to us so many times. Like, we have to do it, Devin. Like, for sure this summer. It's a great summer rom-com, I'm sure.
Puppy
Love.
Kay,
It's with Lucy Hale.
Yeah, Lucy Hale, she says, Grant Gustin, incredibly cute,
Yes,
the right
yes.
cheese, modern, and cute dogs. As soon as I watched it, I thought, wow, I would love to listen to you discuss it. Listen, my only thing with dog movies, and please just somebody DM me if you've seen Puppy Love, a yes, no. Amy, feel free to do that. Do any of the dogs die?
Yeah,
Because
it's very important. It's like, no.
Because I can't handle that.
I know, me neither.
Dogs dying are worse than anything in movie the history, I think. Like, what's that one with Owen Wilson and Jennifer
Marley
Aniston?
and Me.
Oh, Marley and Me?
Yeah.
Ugh.
I can't watch that one again.
I couldn't even remember the name of the movie because I've rejected it from my brain because,
yeah.
wow, so sad.
I sometimes get that mixed up with Along Came Polly, but then I remember Along Came Polly, she had ferrets. Marley and Me was the golden retriever.
A little different.
Tragic Marley and Me.
A little different.
Such
than
a sad movie.
Oh, gosh.
But yeah, the ferrets, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And Amy says, love the pod. Thank you so much, Amy, for this recommendation. And thank you for messaging the pod at Romcom Rewind if you want to throw us a DM. The Fall Guy. Sarah and I actually just saw this in theaters.
Yes.
And I do have some things to talk about regarding the theater experience later, but The Fall Guy is a 2024 action romantic comedy directed by David Leitch. Also did Bullet Train, and this in some ways feels similar to Bullet Train. I mean, also starred Aaron Taylor Johnson. We'll get to it. But this is the story of Colt Seavers, played by Ryan Gosling. Colt is a Hollywood stuntman for A-list actor Tom Ryder, played by Aaron Taylor Johnson. Who does Tom Ryder feel like? He feels like if
Tom Ryder or the actor?
Like the character of Tom Ryder feels like if Chris Evans was a D-bag, I think. Because he's like a well-known action star at this point, but he's a horrible human being.
Yeah.
Because I assume Chris Evans is a nice guy.
Oh, I would think Chris Evans is a very nice person. Yes.
Colt ends up in a romantic relationship with camera operator on the set of Tom's movies, Jody, played by Emily Blunt. However, after a freak stunt accident gone wrong on the set of said movie, Colt spirals into a pit of self-doubt. He leaves his old world of stunt acting behind him, only to be thrust back into this world when Tom Ryder goes missing on the set of a movie that Jody is now directing. That'll be your lead-in for The Fall Guy. What are your thoughts?
Anyone but him. I didn't approve him. You know that.
You are literally the last person on earth I want to see.
slap the shit out of you. I really could.
And I'm open to that in a safer environment.
You've been a ghost. No phone call, no text.
It's not like I didn't want to apologize.
You don't have to explain anything. It was just a flame. So how have you been? God, I hate that thumbs up stunt guy stuff. I'm the director.
We're gonna set this man on fire.
You're a stunt guy. We need to keep it super profesh.
Profess is my middle name.
You said your middle name was Danger.
This movie reminded me of the rom-coms starring people like Kate Hudson and Matthew McConaughey. This gave me that feel, and I loved every second of it.
Interesting, because I have a take that this movie is only actually like one other movie that I can think of, but you keep going.
It's not that it's like another, but it just had that oomph, that like the missing piece that some rom-coms come out with, and they try to be great, but I haven't seen Anyone But You. Everyone has said it's super great. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie, and I hope Seeing Anyone But You has that special piece as well, but this does. This has that piece that I've been wanting since those movies from 10 years ago. I've just been waiting, and this has all of those aspects, plus action.
Yeah.
Plus stunts, plus explosions. Like, if you want to bring your significant other who you have a hard time getting to watch any rom-com with you
Yeah.
because they feel that it should be an action movie, bring them to this. They will enjoy it.
This will work. They
will work.
Enjoy this.
It has like a great mix of like true rom-com and action. I love the chemistry. Like, I died over it. The chemistry between Emily Blunt and Ryan Gosling.
So good.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, Ryan Gosling slow-mo, give me that any day, all day. The writing was good. It was fun. I mean, I will get into it in my quick facts. It is kind of based off something else, but I just loved the every aspect of it. I just like,
This
I'm at loss for words.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. I feel like this is a very self-aware, big budget, AAA Hollywood blockbuster type movie. Like they went out to be like, we're going to make like a blockbuster hit, but they also like, they made it obvious that like this is what we're doing, if that makes sense. And I think they do it so successfully. Like, it's everything you look for in those types of movies. You've got two massive leads, Ryan Gosling, Emily Blunt, like big, huge names you can put on the poster. There are big explosions, like you said, big stunts, big visual effects, a big story. I was also trying to think of what this closely resembled to me, because there are a lot of action rom-coms that exist.
Right.
You know, Ghosted was not that long ago.
I was just about to say, that was last year. And
This Means War,
Yeah.
The Bounty Hunter, Fool's Gold, you're talking about Matthew McConaughey,
Yes.
Date Night. But the only one that I thought was as big as this movie, because that's how I would describe it. This is a big movie, just in scope, in scale, in terms of what they were trying to accomplish.
I'm very excited to see what you're going to say.
Well, I think I'm right. There's only one other movie quite like this in
With
scale.
action?
Think about it.
I'm trying.
Take a moment.
I'm waiting. You tell me.
I think it's Mr. and Miss Smith.
Oh,
Is the only movie that like Jennifer. Sorry. Oh my God! I almost said Jennifer Aniston.
That was like, could we say that was like a Freudian slip? I don't know.
Absolutely was. Angelina Jolie, Brad Pitt, but
Yes.
like big explosions, big stars, big story, big moments, big stunts. It's the only other movie that I think hits all those criteria, and this one was, this is just a big, fun movie that's also well received too. It's an 81% on the tomato meter for Rotten Tomatoes
Love
for
it.
critics, 86% audience score.
It's even better.
Like that is a very good movie, especially as far as rom-coms go. Critics love to hate rom-coms.
They do. But I think it's the action spiced in there, and action done appropriately. Like Katherine Heigl and Ashton Kutcher doing Killers. Like, it's just not at that. Like, The Fall Guy is just like one, I don't know, like it's just 10 times better.
They up the ante in every way.
They do. The script writing, the cheesiness, the epic proportion of like everything. It's just way great.
It's just a big movie. That's how I would describe it. Like, this is just a big, full movie.
Okay, let's dive in. So the movie opens with us meeting Colt Seavers, the best stunt guy in the biz. We see that he's on set and he's the stunt double for a famous actor named Tom Ryder, as you mentioned, Evan. He has an on-set fling with, I'd say, his girlfriend, Jody, who operates the cameras. She's also part of the crew. She wants to be a director someday and also does all the same movies that he's on, which is very convenient for having an on-set girlfriend. This movie is an action, as they all are, the movie that he's on as the stuntman. And he goes up to redo a stunt because Tom, the star, thinks Colt's face is too visible in the scene. But when he does this stunt, it malfunctions and Colt breaks his back.
Well, we don't even know what happened. We just see him falling and then him being rushed to ambulance. And then we get, like, how long is it?
It's fast forward 18 months.
18 months later.
No longer a stuntman, just the fall guy. He's pushed everyone away, including Jody, and now works as a valet parking works at valet parking at a local restaurant. He does get a call from Gail, who is Tom Ryder's producer for all of his films, and asks him to come back.
Played by Hannah Waddingham, who is amazing. I've been all over Sarah to watch Ted Lasso.
Oh, yes. I haven't watched it. I need to watch it. I know.
I don't know why I said that with a little flair, Lasso. I think it's just Ted Lasso. But if you have also watched this show, please DM us and tell Sarah, watch Ted Lasso. We've also got like a little bit of an appearance of Bingo Lady Sarah here.
I know.
Still recovering from some allergies, actually, is what it is.
Well, it's like it was a cough turned into now seasonal allergies because the pollen is really bad right now where we are. And yeah, I have like this constant tickle in my throat. And so when I laugh, I sound a little bit like Bingo Sarah.
You were like Marge
Bingo
Simpson
Lady
there
Sarah.
with the...
I know.
Oh, there it is.
I know.
Wow. That's going to be fun, this podcast.
So I apologize in advance.
So he gets a call from Gail to come back
Yes.
to the business.
Be the stuntman on the latest movie. He refuses until Gail tells him that Jody, the director, her first movie ever, has asked specifically for him to be the stuntman. He finally agrees, flies to Sydney, Australia, where the movie is taking place. He gets on set and he does the first stunt. Of course, it's a car barrel roll. Is that how you say it?
It's a cannon roll.
It's a cannon roll.
Yeah.
Sure. A car barrel roll.
This is, I think it's in your...
It is in my quick facts.
Quick facts that this scene broke a record for number of flips in a cannon roll.
Yes, 8.5.
8.5 flips.
I shall dive into that, but
we'll
yes.
get to that later, yeah.
Yes. He is nervous, but then he later finds out that once he does the stunt, Jody doesn't even realize that it's him until he takes off his helmet.
Why are you here?
I think there's been a misunderstanding.
Clearly.
Because I was under the impression that you did want me here.
That's a delusional thought. We haven't spoken in a year.
I'm happy for you. This whole director thing looks good on you. Even the gardening hat, somehow.
So, in my opinion, so much of the magic of this film is Ryan Gosling just being so charismatic.
Oh my God.
Even with a character who has trouble saying how he feels kind of thing.
Yeah.
But like they have all these little moments in this film that are just so beautifully done. Like that scene.
God. Yes.
He takes off his helmet. You only see the back of his... Yeah, it's slow-mo.
Oh my God. And
he
his
slowly
smirk,
turns. Jody sees his face. He smirks.
Melt.
And it's just beautiful.
Everyone wears them. It's like a set thing. Okay?
Yeah, I see it. They're not making it look as good as you are. That's all. And I'm not trying to be flat. I'm just saying the facts. But you look good in everything. You look good in nothing, whatever. No, I don't mean it like
Really?
that. But you do look good in nothing.
This isn't work. This isn't going to
I mean,
work.
you do, but it's not what I'm...
It's just so beautifully done. He's so charming.
I think I could watch just him slow-mo doing that smirk for the rest of my life.
I'm sure you could find that on YouTube. Just slow-mo Ryan Gosling smirks. You know what? You keep going. I'll find out what that comes up. I'll do a little bit of research on the pod here.
So Colt goes to talk to Gail, tells her he wants to go back home since Jody doesn't even want him there. Gail talks him into staying and then tells him the real reason that he's there is, turns out Tom Ryder is missing, and since Cole knows him so well, he has to be the one to find him and bring him back to set so that the movie doesn't get canceled.
They will pull the plug on this. You know that. Please go and find him.
Why me?
You're a stuntman, for God's sake. No one's going to notice whether you're here or not. No offense.
I mean, some taken.
And guilt trips him into agreeing to help find Tom, because otherwise Jodie's first big break as director would be canceled.
So there's a lot of weird stuff when
I
you
was
Google
just
Ryan
about to say,
Gosling slow-mo smirks.
I like saw your face and I'm like, I don't think this is what you exactly
I don't know
want.
what I've stumbled
Maybe
upon
just
here.
like Ryan Gosling slow-mo.
Okay, Ryan Gosling slow-mo. I mean, I was getting smirks of Ryan Gosling from other movies.
I bet you were.
Ryan Gosling slow-mo. Oh, yeah. Oh, we got a little bit of Fall Guy in here. We're getting a little bit of him walking at Toronto International Film Festival. Oh, Crazy Stupid Love. Oh, the pizza eating scene when he's there at the mall waiting for Steve Carell's character to show
and he
up.
throws the running shoes over.
That's right. He throws the running shoes over the edge. It's all slow-mo Ryan Gosling. Hell yeah, man. It's funny because I thought it would be people making him slow-mo, but it's just movies he's done where he's in slow-mo.
Yes, that is what I want. I don't want people to make him into slow-mo. They already do it for me in the movie.
Yeah, people are already doing this.
Yeah. So Colt starts out at Tom Ryder's apartment, finds out that his girlfriend is there, who tries to fight him, which is never really explained, and it's a little bit crazy. Like, that part was just so unnecessary.
This movie has a lot of amazing stunts and amazing choreography in the fight sequences. It does a lot of it. It's a little bit of an oversaturation of it sometimes, but at the same time, I get it. That's what they're going for. That's what they're shooting for. They're like, we're going to throw so many stunts at you because that's the whole thing with this movie. It's just stunts.
Yes,
right?
it's almost done like on purpose. Well,
Exactly.
no, sorry. It is done on purpose, but it's almost to the point where like they're self-aware.
It's
of
gratuitous
like how
stunting.
how many stunts are in here.
So now we get to my best scene, actually.
Okay.
Colt Seavers, it's nighttime. He's leaving set. He's gotten into this pickup truck and he sees Jodie also leaving set. And the fact that they licensed this song is hilarious because he turns on the radio and it's Taylor Swift All Too Well playing.
It is, yeah.
And he sees Jodie and Colt Seavers starts tearing up. And this is, once again,
Oh my God, yeah.
one of those moments where this movie is so funny in the interactions between Emily Blunt and Ryan Gosling. I think they do it so well because we have this moment where the camera's slowly closing in on Colt. He's getting emotional listening to Taylor Swift All Too Well. We're really having an intimate moment
Yes.
with Ryan Gosling here.
Really, really deep with it.
And then bang, Emily Blunt is like, hey, Colt, what's going on?
Knocking on the window.
Yeah, boom, boom. And he rolls it down. She's like, were you crying listening to Taylor Swift? And he's like, no, not at all. Just jet lag, you know?
No coffee.
And it occurred to me here, I actually did a little bit of research. Did you, in your quick facts, regarding what songs they've licensed for this movie?
Oh gosh, no. I didn't.
Because obviously they licensed Taylor Swift all too well.
Obviously.
Kiss is notoriously difficult to get their songs licensed.
Oh.
So they did license a Kiss song, which is heard in the movie prominently. But I thought, is Taylor Swift like a new classic breakup anthem?
I feel like she's got a pretty good catalog of songs for people to choose from that are quite melancholy. Yes.
Yeah. So then I thought, what would be, and you listening, you can play along, RCR fam. What is Devin's all-time breakup anthem list?
Oh gosh.
Sarah, I have for you 5 answers on the board and honorable mentions.
Oh.
And we're going to do this every time you guess. I'm just going to take one off the board.
Okay.
But do you think you can determine what is on Devin's all-time breakup anthems list?
All right. Oh, you're like asking me.
Yeah.
Oh, like I thought you were gonna. I thought you were gonna give me.
That was clear and obvious.
I thought you were gonna give me options.
No.
Oh, like I have to guess.
I mean, there are songs about breakups. Like it's pretty. All of these, you know.
Oh my God, Devin, this is an awful game for me. I couldn't tell you. I don't even know my favorite breakup song.
Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to harken back to the last episode, The Idea of You, when I went perfect in terms of Sarah's boy band crushes. I did not have a single wrong answer. Except for the Hanson brothers, because nobody knows their actual names. It's just like the little one with the long hair, the older.
It's actually really funny because I had looked up after what their names were, and like I looked up Hanson brothers, and they don't even tell you like you have to like really dig for the names.
It doesn't tell you
just
which
pop
one's
up.
which.
No.
Yeah, no. And it's also like there are a lot of older pictures of them. It's like,
Yes.
I don't know who these men are. I need to see the Mbop.
You mean
Hanson
newer
brothers.
photos of them as older people?
Yes. Oh yeah. I
like,
mean, yeah.
It's yeah. You got to do some work.
Hey.
Which I'm like, no, I'm good.
Great job stalling.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Let's get into Devin's all-time breakup anthems list.
Honestly, the only song, well, I mean, not the only song, but Panic at the Disco comes on in my mind right now.
Okay.
Only because we listened to it on the way to work this morning.
Yeah, okay. Like I Write Sins, Not Tragedies.
Yeah, perhaps. The tragic story of the bride and groom, but
not on the list.
well,
but
I would
will
hope not.
I will take one off the board for you.
Okay.
How about Tony Braxton, Unbreak My Heart, Sarah?
Oh my god.
I mean, it is iconic. Does that at least help you out in terms of thematics, what we're looking for
Like I
here?
think like do the Cranberries have any like breakup songs?
Oh, you know what? Not the Cranberries, but I'm quite sure this next person is a... What are you oh my godding?
No, there's okay, you know the song that's oh my god, why can't I remember her name right now?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's like not Alanis Morissette. Oh my god, why can't I remember the song Lying Naked on the Floor?
Oh, Sarah, that's on. Yes. Natalie Imbruglia. Torn.
Yes.
Absolutely, Sarah. That is on the list. And you thought you'd be bad at this. You
Well,
just
I
needed to
felt-
open
yeah.
your mind and your heart. But back to the Cranberries. I'm
Yeah.
quite sure. Well, you know what? Maybe you can take a guess. Who else do you think is on the board here?
Oh my gosh. Do you have any like I'm trying to think of like breakup songs. Any like Britney Spears?
No, the
She's got some
Cranberries,
good
though,
ones.
Sarah, you were on the right track because I'm quite sure that they are Irish. Yes, they are. And Sinead O'Connor
Yes.
is also Irish. Nothing Compares to You is like the ultimate breakup song, Sarah.
Wow. Is this on your list?
Yes.
Oh, you just cut it the good part. Nothing compares.
I don't want us to get sued. So,
oh.
so I'm talking loudly over the music often. Okay, so that's 3 of the 5 off the board. I will say, you said Panic at the Disco. All American Rejects Gives You Hell got an honorable mention.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I was going to say like a Green Day song.
Yeah. Okay,
Because like,
okay, yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, I feel like you have some good choices for girls, but like the girly choices, but like,
Yeah.
I do, you know, like, I don't know, you're a guy. I feel like you'd have like, I don't know what guys listen to when they break up.
So you got 2 more answers on the board. I mean, guys listen to the same things girls listen to. What do you mean? Like, we're allowed to feel things?
No, totally.
What a
I think it's-
reductive way
I
of looking
think
at it. How dare
it's
you?
great that you feel.
We feel just...
I'm very happy that you feel. Tell me the other 2.
It's I'm Just Ken from... No, I'm kidding.
Oh
just
my God, Ken enough?
put a little... Yeah, exactly.
Why did I not pick that one?
I'll give you a hint. You've actually said this person's name in the last 60 seconds. Think about it.
Green Day.
Think about it.
City and Color.
Alanis Morissette, you ought to know, baby. Come on. Like,
Well, I was going to guess Alanis Morissette.
you know, she apparently wrote that about Dave Coulier from Full House.
She has an interesting dating background. Like
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds.
Oh my God, yeah, wow.
They dated while he was filming Just Friends.
Oh, that's right. Wasn't she on set at
She
times?
was. She actually was in a scene, but then it was cut. Yeah. There you go. The more you know.
Last song, what do you got?
Oh gosh. Just give it to me.
Okay. Fleetwood Mac, Go Your Own Way.
Oh, that's a good one. I probably never would have guessed that one.
I mean, the fact that it's about somebody in the band also just makes it like
Yeah.
twist the knife around. Honorably mentioning, because I know a lot of people are screaming at their podcast right now, how could you not have I Will Always Love You by Whitney Houston? I know it's an honorable mention. I Will Survive. Joy Division, Love Will Tear Us Apart. Stay, Rihanna, Mickey Echo.
You know what? I was going to guess a Rihanna song, but then I was like, the only thing that came to my head was Umbrella. So,
Not quite a breakup anthem.
yeah.
And then I'll also throw out anything from Boyz II Men. I feel like I know they had songs that weren't sad, but just something about their vibe feels like my heart's been broken.
You got to have a boy band in there, you know?
Yeah, you gotta have at
You
least
gotta
one.
have one.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have guessed like some, NSYNC, Backstreet Boys.
Yeah.
They got some goodies.
I don't think they hit the depth of what I was looking
Destiny's
for.
Child.
You know?
Halo. Some
Yeah,
Beyonce.
boy bands like Destiny's Child.
No, Beyonce.
Okay.
Like your old stuff, No, I said boy bands and then I moved on.
Okay, I didn't
moved
hear you
on.
move on,
Yes,
so-
I moved on. My goodies. Yeah. Colt heads to Tom's apartment and finds his girlfriend who tries to fight him, which isn't really explained and is just like a little bit crazy.
A little unhinged.
Well, like I just they don't really explain it as to like why it happens, but
Yeah, they explained it a little bit. Like she it was a prop sword. She wasn't actually trying to kill him, I guess.
yeah, but she like wanted it to seem like she was like ready to defend the casa.
I think it was because
Mojo?
people were looking
House?
for Tom, right? So she was like,
Yes.
Did you just throw a
Yes.
little
Yeah, I did.
Barbie reference in there?
I did.
Yeah, like that. But I think that is part of the beauty of this movie. It's what they were going for, right? Like
Right.
they did so many stunts and they did so much action choreography that at times it's like, this is gratuitous. Like this is so
Yeah.
much. But at the same time, you're like, it's what they're going for.
Right, like
they
they-
are trying to be too much.
Yeah, they did it on purpose.
Yeah.
To have a crazy amount of stunts.
It's
Yes.
a stunt guy.
You're right.
It's a movie about a stunt guy, and they're just like throwing everything at you all the time, I feel.
So she tells Colt that he's gotten in trouble with some bad guys and that he's probably at some club, and we're talking about Tom, with his dealer who has a leopard tattoo on his head. So Colt dresses up in neon because it's neon night and goes to this club, meets with the dealer. They drug him. He is told that Dane, so Dane is the guy with the tattoo on his head, that's the dealer, was supposed to drug him to get him out of the way. And he's like, what? Like somebody paid you to do that to me? Like, okay, there's like a bigger scheme happening. Then Colt sees unicorns for the next 20 minutes of the movie, which is absolutely hilarious. I loved it. I felt like Get Him to the Greek.
Oh, very much. Yes,
like
yes.
feel the fur walls. Like,
Totally.
let's do that for 20 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah. It's great. Colt beats up all of the dealers, goons, and then chases Dane, the dealer, the leopard tattoo dealer, to the cab he's about to jump into to find out that Tom Ryder is probably at his hotel room to go to the front desk, ask for Vince, get the fruit platter. Then the guy Vince will give you a hotel key to a room where you can find Tom.
So I will say one thing that I loved about this film that they did really successfully, I think, is that oftentimes when you have that like fish out of water character who it's like, hey, you're a nobody, but you're going to go be a bounty hunter today.
Yeah.
They suck for like 3/4 of the movie until they finally figure it out. We established very early in The Fall Guy that because Colt Seavers is a stunt actor, he's actually surprisingly well suited to what's going on here. He has done like action stunts. He like that guy is driving away in a cab, and Colt, there's a moment where he's like, okay, gotta jump in front of the cab.
Yeah,
and he
gotta
happens to
stop
have
the
his-
cab. Gotta
he-
stop the cab.
And he puts his mouth guard in, and it's like, it's just another Tuesday for him getting hit by a car. And it's like, I like that he was very well suited to this role. You were kind of pleasantly surprised by it. It's like, wow, like he could actually do this kind of thing.
Yeah, well, and there was no question on his ability to do it, right? So before heading to the hotel room, because he now has the key, he runs into Jody and Gail in the lobby. Gail leaves, but Jody and Colt chat, and they have a really cute conversation. Colt goes to the hotel room, gets a phone call from Jody again, where they have a cute cinematic scene of dual screen. I liked that
was
they talked about
so
it
well
and they
done.
did it. I loved that part. And it brought some filmmaking back to it, Like it was so nicely done.
It reminded me of 500 Days of Summer, where they have the
Yes.
side-by-side panels of reality versus expectations for our main character of Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Mm-hmm.
And they're happening alongside each other. It felt very similar to that. But you're right. It is very clever, and it needs to be executed well if you're going to do it, and they did it.
Oh yeah, like the scene where she has the alien pondering, and like it's just so funny. I just loved it.
And it's funny when it drops away from the split screen, and it's actually Colt, and now he's looking at a unicorn.
Yes.
Yeah, he's just staring at a unicorn, and you're like, oh, that it's just very well done.
Oh, I love it. It's just so funny. So they have their conversation. Colt then hangs up. He finds a dead body on ice in a bathtub and quickly vacates, but not before getting caught on surveillance cameras. Colt's all freaked out, still can't find Tom, tells Gail he found a dead body on ice in the tub in the hotel room, But he is happy because he's getting closer to Jodie again. So there is a best scene that happens before this.
Okay.
It's the one where they light him on fire.
Yes.
This is my best scene because I love how many times it takes them to like get the point across. I love that Jodie tells him the script. She's like, I want to tell you why you're getting lit on fire and like why we're making you do this. And he's like, okay, sure. It's their love story. Like she has made it into this like cinematic alien space universe.
This cowboy space epic, but really it's just a jilted ex-lover and a guy.
Yeah, totally. And it is their love story, but she tells him the love story from her director's chair to him on set with everybody around, like the whole crew, cast and crew, there in their alien suits. And like, it was so funny.
I thought it was funny immediately too.
Yes.
Like as soon as I realized what was teeing up, I'm like, the comedy is just amped up because there's like random aliens like in the background, just like nodding along to what she's saying, very thoughtfully.
Yeah, and nobody interrupts. Like nobody says it. Like it's her show, and I loved it. And he just sits there and listens, and he knows he messed up. He wants her back. Yeah, and there's never any question about it throughout the entire movie that they want each other back, and I love it.
Yes, yeah.
So anyway, that's just like a side note, my favorite scene. So Colt tells the police about the body on ice, but by the time he gets to the hotel room again with the police, there's nothing there. And he's not sure if it's real or if it was like that he was high. So, and that he was hallucinating, but he believes that it was real, especially when he tells his stunt coordinator friend, Dan, who is so great in this movie too. I really liked him. But side note, he was still seeing unicorns at this point too.
Can we talk a little bit about the experience of watching this in theaters, Sarah? You and I saw this in theaters.
We did.
Presumably, if you're listening to this pod and you've seen it, I think it's been out on streaming for a little bit. I do think you need to pay additionally for that, though. So presumably, you probably saw this in theaters. I do want to talk about something unique about this film that we would be remiss not to mention. It's the box office and the box office numbers and the need for Hollywood to want us to be in theaters. We arrived 10 minutes early to see this movie. And of course, the first 10 minutes, like if you're 10 minutes early, you're not even seeing previews yet. You're seeing like those little vignettes of other movies that are happening. And in two separate moments for two separate movies, there was some scene where somebody's talking about this movie and they look at the camera and they're like, and you need to see this in theaters.
Yeah, you should see this in theaters.
Yeah. And Sarah and I both looked at each other and we're like, wow, they're really laying it on thick. Not to be outdone by Ryan Gosling right before the previews start, doing this thing with the director, David Leitch, being like, the only place you can see this is in theaters. This is where it needs to be experienced. And it is extremely obvious that Hollywood is clearly struggling with us, you and me and you listening, going to the theaters.
Yeah.
With the box office.
I mean, we did contemplate the price to
just stream it at home.
Go to the movie theater, pick up popcorn.
But see, that's what they get you at.
I know.
That's where they get you.
You know what? It was
popcorn.
more than so maybe just making popcorn at home and buying it and watching it at home. We ended up going to the theater because I do love going to the theaters. We don't get to go often anymore. Yeah. But I do love going to the movie theaters. But yeah, it was a very interesting shift. It was a pretty packed theater, though, I will say.
It was. Absolutely it was.
Yeah.
Do you want the tale of the tape, though, for Hollywood's box office woes right now?
Sure.
Because clearly Hollywood is terrified that we're done with movie theaters, right? How are they going to make money? So I have the tale of the tape of like biggest box office flops of the past few years. And I also have biggest presumptive flops this year.
Okay.
Of which
I like that.
I'm sorry to say, The Fall Guy is actually on the list.
I am devastated.
Budget of $130 million. And apparently it's nearing that in terms of box office gross. But they need to split a portion with the theaters. Right. So really they need to be sniffing 200 to really be making money at this. But this is actually funny. The biggest box office flop in history. It's a movie that came out last year. What do you think it is,
Oh my
Sarah?
God, really?
Yeah. You know it.
Is it a horror?
No, it's an action. It's a superhero. We've talked about it, how it would flop.
Oh, Madam Web?
Oh no, Madam Web is this year, and it is certainly like we don't have the official numbers, but I think we kind of do, and it's a flop.
Okay,
that
well,
flop. It's not the biggest flop though, compared to budget versus how much it lost. Is the Marvels?
Oh, you know what? I watched the Marvels on a plane, and it was really good.
Okay, and yeah, lost.
I think it didn't. They didn't love it because it was an all-female cast.
And so there are a number of things that I think are happening right now. But yes, the Marvels lost $237 million, apparently. Last year also featured The Flash, which lost $155 million.
I'm sorry, but that should never have actually happened with him as cast as Flash.
Yes, the lead actor in that has a lot of issues
and potential lawsuits.
With the law,
et cetera.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wish also lost a lot of money, which is that Disney thing.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones lost a lot of money last year.
Oh, that was pretty good. I actually watched it.
Oh, yeah? In theaters?
No, not in theaters.
No, of
I
course
watched
not.
none of these in theaters. The only movie that I have seen is Fall Guy in the last 2 years is The Fall Guy and Barbie.
Yes, yeah, I guess so.
Both of which we've done for the pod.
Did we watch Doctor Strange in theaters,
Nope.
though? Yeah. Multiverse of
we
Madness
did,
we saw.
but like that was.
I think that was 3 years ago
Yes.
now, maybe. Haunted Mansion also lost a bunch of money. Black Adam was 2022. It lost a lot of money. Do you happen to know the movies coming out this year that have come out that are likely to be box office flops?
No,
as
but I
well?
really want you to tell me. I'm really excited.
We're, as of the recording of this, only 5 days removed from its opening, but apparently Furiosa is set to lose money.
Oh no!
Opening, it's the...
I don't think they can base like. It's hard. I don't know if they're going to have to change the way that they budget movies.
Oh, I'm getting there, baby.
Okay, 'cause
but
I was going to say they're going to have to.
Opening Memorial Day weekend in the States was the lowest Memorial Day opening by a movie in 41 years.
Oh my God.
It made apparently between $31 and $33 million.
Wow.
Which opening on Memorial Day is supposed to be like the start of the summer blockbuster
And
season.
supposedly that movie is phenomenal.
That's
Like,
yes.
It's not because the movies are bad.
Yeah.
It's just people are not going to going to the movies anymore.
I'll skim through the rest of these because if that one with Ryan Reynolds did, Imaginary Friends.
That
is
one also
apparently-
isn't doing well.
Yeah, not doing well. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire is kind of on the fringe. Box office made $200 million. Budget was $100 million.
Paul Rudd was in that, right?
Yeah, that's right, exactly.
Love
And it
him.
was a lot of the original cast.
Yes, people loved that.
I mean, there's also marketing budgets that go into this and stuff like that, so we don't really know. I mean, I would say a box office failure compared to what they were expecting. And yeah, the Fall Guy is on the list because it's kind of on the fringe of like, is this going to break even sort of thing. I feel like at the end of the day, like budgets are too big for a lot of these movies. I love the ambitiousness, I guess, of, the Fall Guy and what they were able to do. But at the end of the day, like it's a really well-received movie. Audiences loved it. Critics loved it. People just didn't really go to the theater to go see it.
Yeah, I think they need to figure out a new way to like, I don't know if going to the theaters will be like there in 10 years. They need to figure out a way to utilize the streaming and putting the movies on there and figuring out how to make money from there.
But
I don't know if they can.
And it's the same regard, like I feel like they put this movie on streaming too soon.
Yeah, maybe because it made people not want to go because they can just buy it from there. But then are they getting the money
right?
from there?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
How much are they making off that deal in streaming?
Well, and I think you have to think about like where are they looking at the money coming in from? Is it solely from box office theaters or is it also streaming?
Yeah, it would have to be a combination, right?
Yeah.
And like I think the age of actors making like $50 million to be in a movie, I think it's over. Because like you look at the two stars in this, Emily Blunt in Oppenheimer last year, the biggest box office success outside of Barbie, which featured Ryan Gosling. They have the two biggest names, arguably, right now.
Yeah, definitely.
But like, I don't think a name means you want to go to the theater anymore. Like, I definitely really, really like these two people, and it makes me more interested in going to see it. But it's not like I got to see that in theaters kind of thing anymore.
And is it the marketing piece too, though? Like, I mean, I did see a lot on The Fall Guy, but and Oppenheimer and Barbie, but I just think like people don't watch cable TV as much anymore. So are they not getting those massive commercials that they see? They're getting them on TikTok. They're getting them on other social media platforms. But like, is it the same level as seeing a full trailer via a commercial?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
At the frequency. Colt decides he's going to ask Tom's personal assistant to help in finding Tom. She says whatever's happening, there's something bad on his phone. Gives Colt Tom's phone in exchange for a credit as producer on the movie, which, fun fact, actually does end up happening at the end in the credits. She does get a credit.
I didn't
as
know
producer.
that.
Yeah. Colt is actually supposed to be going to karaoke with Jody and the crew, but he instead does this so that Jody's movie doesn't get shut down. There's a high-speed chase where the personal assistant is kidnapped by the bad guys. Colt helps fight them off with Jean-Claude the dog, and the bad guys are looking as well for Tom's phone. Colt and Dan, the stunt coordinator, go to back to Tom's apartment to see what's on his phone. They go back there because they need the phone passcode. They find out that the person who killed the guy in the tub, who they identify as Tom's most recent stunt double, was actually Tom. Tom is the person who...
Tom's the murderer.
Yes, he's the murderer. They were at some sort of party. Tom hit him too hard, ended up murdering him when he hit the corner of a table. The bad guys show up and Dan gets away, the stunt coordinator, but Colt is taken and tied to a chair. Turns out the whole thing was a setup. Colt sees Tom. Tom tells him that he wants the phone with the video. Colt knows that it's the only thing keeping him alive, which is absolutely true. And Tom tells Colt that he's going to frame him for the murder of the stunt double. He's going to put Colt's face on his so it looks like he's the one that murdered the stunt guy. Tom tells Colt that he killed the stunt guy because he was getting too cocky, just like what he had to do to Colt when he was getting too cocky when he played his stunt.
Dun, dun, dun. All the twists coming in. We're getting the classic movie villain monologuing to the main character about all of their past thing. Like, why do they always do this?
I love that.
It's just exposition. It's just hashing out the story. We need to know. It's just funny how it's always the villain to be like, here was my master plan.
Yeah.
You know?
It's never the person actually figuring it all out because that would take too long.
Yeah. No, we just need somebody to friggin' tell him what happened. And it was Tom Ryder this whole time.
It was the whole time. It turns out the whole fall and Colt breaking his back was Tom's doing, and all is set up to make sure that he didn't continue as a stunt double.
So that's kind of a double entendre. He's the fall guy in that he physically falls at the beginning of the movie, but he's also the fall guy in terms of like being the scapegoat for this murder, right?
Yeah. Gail was in on the whole thing, and it was basically her idea to do all of this, get him to come to Australia and find Tom and actually end up framing him. They douse him in gasoline and they go to light him on fire, but he spits gas in the bad guy's faces, gets away in a boat.
Such a badass move.
There's a boat chase scene, and it ends with Colt running his boat into a set of propane tanks in the harbor, faking his own death.
One thing that you don't get watching a movie in streaming, in the theaters while we were watching this, there was a woman right behind me who was like shocked.
She was.
You know, when somebody's like, she was acting like it was a horror movie. Like, this is an action rom-com, babe. Like, you kind of know the beats that are going to happen. And like, you know, Colt would spit the gasoline at the guy in the fire and she'd be like, oh!
Yeah, she'd be like, oh my God. The dog would be like chased, like almost getting shot at. Oh no! Like, it was a true theatrical experience with having her behind us.
I think she needs to go to the theaters more.
I think she needs to go with us because she is hilarious. So if you listen to the pod, let us know that you were behind us.
Yeah, imagine.
Colt gets out of the water. This is the slow-mo that I love, and makes his way back to set to tell Jody everything, which I loved that she automatically does not question him and like just believes him and knows that something was up.
Yeah.
And just in her heart of hearts, like knows that he's telling the truth, never questions it. Because I hate movies where where one of the main characters still doesn't believe the other main character, and you're just like, oh my God, like get over this. Like, you know, like, come on, this is gonna happen in 5 minutes. You're gonna believe him in 5 minutes. Like, just get this over with. So they hash out a plan how to get Tom Ryder and Gail back. They're going to they're supposed to do this big stunt where it's like a 250 like gap, like truck jump over these big hills, and Tom Ryder, the whole thing throughout this movie is that he doesn't do his own stunts, but he tells everybody that he does his own stunts.
At one point earlier, they were watching kind of bloopers of Tom Ryder just talking on set, and they realized like he just talks, not realizing that he's mic'd up a lot of the time. So that was Colt's idea. Like, we're going to run this stunt, and he will forget that there's a mic on him, and he'll admit the whole thing. And that's what happens. We have I'm going to say another gratuitous, big, massive stunt sequence at the end of this movie with the car zipping through and
The
explosions.
helicopters.
Yes, and then we end up, Gail finds out what's happening. And well, so Tom admits to everything. Gail gets to the audio truck, and she tries to steal the tape of him admitting everything and admitting Gail's involvement and all that. And then they have a helicopter to get them out of there, to which Colt ends up jumping onto the helicopter. There's a fight sequence in the helicopter. He ends up grabbing the tape and like falling onto the stunt people are there.
Yeah, I love how quick they are.
Yeah, they all the galvanized to help Colt, and they get a big, huge thing underneath him to make sure he falls safely this time. There's also a scene where like the stunt people are fighting like Tom Ryder's security people.
Oh my God, yes, hilarious when they all start. Oh yeah, that's so good.
And like I will say, like you talked about it earlier, it was a little long.
Yes, just like a little long.
But once again, you get it. Like, this is what they're going for. Like, this movie is going to be big and huge, and we're going to have all these explosions and all this choreography and all these things and stunts happening. And so they kind of had to go big or go home to finish the movie, you know, and they did. So we get Tom Ryder is guilty, Gail's guilty, Jody and Colt ride off into the sunset. But we do get
oh my God.
And then what happens later moment.
Yes, well, and not only that, we get the finished product of the movie.
We had to get Tom Ryder out of the movie. So there was a scene earlier where like Jason Momoa is mentioned in Tom Ryder's apartment. There's all these Post-it notes. I actually noticed it right away before the actors noticed it. Of like just random ramblings that he has. And there's one that's like, is it Momoa or Mamoa? Obviously talking about Jason Momoa.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they recast Jason Momoa in that role for Tom Ryder. So you get to see that exact same sequence with Jason Momoa doing it, which is so funny. Like, hilarious. This is just like a big, huge love letter to Hollywood action movies, I feel.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know?
It's so good.
And we also get to see Jody and Colt doing donuts once again in his pickup truck, which we saw some flashbacks to them doing that earlier in the relationship.
Yes.
They have Jean-Claude the dog.
Yes, I was going to say, you can't forget about the Jean-Claude.
So we get a nice little riding off into the sunset moment for them as well. Quick facts. Quick facts recorded by Devin today.
Yes.
Once again, because Sarah, voice, rocky.
It's just a little tickle.
So, Metal Storm is a real-life film from 1983. Metal Storm, The Destruction of Jared Sin. It even shares the same tagline as this one. It's high noon at the edge of the universe. The film within a film, Metal Storm, was heavily inspired by the real film Metal Storm by Full Moon Entertainment. The entire concept, costumes, and desert setting and car-based stunts are right from Charles Band's film. So if you're thinking, wow, this Metal Storm thing seems ridiculous,
it's legit.
it's ridiculous and real.
Yes.
It actually happens.
There was a moment while I was watching the movie that I was like, what a weird space cowboy film. But no, it's been done. Like, this is a thing. So this movie, Fall Guy, is based loosely on The Fall Guy 1981. It's a TV series. In it, Lee Majors played Colt Seavers, a Hollywood stuntman who also moonlights as a bounty hunter when there is little movie work. Majors himself and the show's famous vehicle, the 1981 GMC K2500 Wideside, appear in this film, as well as his co-star Heather Thomas, who played Jody Banks in the series.
Yes, a nice little ode to the Jody in this movie.
We also have a Jody in this movie. That's pretty cool. Ryan Gosling has a fear of heights, but still did the 150-foot fall at the beginning of the movie.
Wow.
He actually did that.
Yes. I mean, you'll get to an interesting fun fact later, or quick fact as you continue. But yes.
Because I know he does have stuntmen who did numerous stunts throughout this
Totally.
movie. And he featured them, actually. He invited them to the premiere.
I love
Which
it.
is so
oh my
cool.
God, that is amazing.
With 8.5 car rolls, I think technically they're called cannon rolls.
Okay.
This movie, The Fall Guy, actually breaks the Guinness World Record of the most car rolls in a movie. This is a fact. And actually, in the movie, Gale mentions it in dialogue, but it's real. Like, that's an actual thing.
That's really cool.
The previous record set by, I find this very interesting, Adam Curley, 2006's Casino Royale, had the record.
Oh.
7 cannon rolls.
7. Okay, they beat it by 1.5.
Ryan Gosling had at least 4 stunt doubles. You're right. Ryan Gosling had a chance encounter with Steven Spielberg, who told him he loved this movie. Gosling said, "As far as I'm concerned, it doesn't matter anymore what happens." Steven Spielberg liked it. That was an all-time moment for me. I'm really excited for people to see it. I think it's a really special movie. Chris O'Hara received a credit for the crew position of stunt designer, believed to be the first credit of its kind. The role of stunt designer is meant to acknowledge the high-level artistic contribution of the traditional stunt coordinator role and recognize creative leadership within the stunts industry. Justin Eden plays Henry, uncredited, the stuntman for Metal Storm, who doubles for Tom Ryder, Aaron Taylor Johnson. Justin Eden is also an actual stuntman who doubled for Aaron Taylor Johnson and Ryan Gosling for stunts in The Fall Guy, and can be seen clearly in the credits outtake scenes.
Nice.
Cole is asked whether there is an Oscar for stunts in movies, which he denies. This is a real frustration among stunt performers, given that almost every other technical category has its own award at the Oscars and the Emmys, and SAG Awards do. In fact, give out awards for this. Director David Leitch, a former stuntman himself, said that he made The Fall Guy as a love letter to the stunt community, giving them the recognition they deserve. Many filmmakers, including Leitch, have been pushing for years to have an Oscar for Best Stunts, but the Academy's motivations for not doing so is that the awards ceremony is already quite long, and that a Best Stunts Oscar might prompt stunt teams to go to more extreme and unsafe lengths just to win the award.
I feel like that's a cop-out.
Yeah, I feel like, yeah. This movie had been in development since 2010.
Wow.
Who was eyed to play Colt Seavers?
Oh,
The first one is so obvious.
Tom Cruise?
Tom Cruise,
Yes.
because he is a guy who does so many of his own stunts. Keanu Reeves also.
Oh, yeah.
Nicolas Cage, Jason Statham, and Dwayne The Rock
my God.
Johnson.
I am so happy that they did not have him play.
Me too.
He's in everything.
I could actually see, like, Nicolas Cage would change the vibe of the movie.
I feel like that was
lot.
10 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, definitely.
Jason Statham would be cool, but, like, yeah, Tom Cruise and Keanu Reeves, I feel, could actually
Reeves,
do it
I could
justice.
see it.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
absolutely. At one point in the movie, Tom Ryder appears to be doing a bad Matthew McConaughey impersonation and says the line, "I've been killing aliens long before anybody paid me to." This is a reference to the infamous Lincoln car commercials where McConaughey says, "I've been driving Lincolns long before anybody paid me to."
I love that.
Wait, I think I can do it better. "I've been driving Lincolns
Yeah,
long before anybody paid me to."
that's better.
That's okay. All right, I'm getting.
It's almost like it's got to be slower.
Yeah. I did. It's a podcast. I didn't want to be too.
I know,
slow
it's
down.
true.
I've been driving Lincoln
There you go. Oh,
long before
long.
anybody paid me to. A version of the song "I'm the Unknown Stuntman," which was the theme tune in the 1980s TV show The Fall Guy, that inspired this film, plays during the end credits. Sarah, it's not listed in your quick facts, but who sang it?
It might be listed later on.
Oh, is it listed later?
Possibly. I can't remember.
Well, it's Blake Sheldon. So if I
yes,
find
it
it
is.
later on,
It
I'll
is.
skip it.
It is. Yes, it is. Yeah.
The crew on the movie set wear shirts with company logos, including 87 North, the production company founded by David Leitch and Kelly McCormick, producers of this film. As noted on camera in the scene where Colt first borrows an American spec left-hand drive pickup truck, the vehicles used in the Sydney-based shoot are there for product placement purposes.
Totally.
I noticed this right away.
They even said it in the movie.
Yeah. Oh, did
He
they
said
actually?
it. He said, "Yeah, don't ruin that one because it's all product placement stuff." Yeah, it was so quick.
It's funny. I remember him saying it,
Yeah.
but I didn't realize how meta that was because they do show the GMC logo very clearly.
Totally.
Colt drives a GMC pickup, but Jodie is shown riding in a GM-produced Hummer EV during the Metal Storm filming sequences. GM did, in fact, purchase product placement rights for the film itself.
Wow.
So that's all supposed to be in there. They just happened to make a little tongue-in-cheek joke about it, too, while they were doing it. An inside industry joke, Hannah Waddingham's character, the film producer, is literally chained to her phone the whole movie, alluding to film producers always being on the phone, which I really liked. I wonder if there's a thing about her drinking a F ton of Diet Coke.
Oh, my God. Yeah, there isn't, but I did like that.
Because there's also Tom Cruise's character in Tropic Thunder, who's just obsessed with, I can't remember if it's Coke or Pepsi, but he always has soda. Maybe it's a thing among producers.
I had a friend who used to carry a can of Pepsi in her purse wherever she went.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, that's a lot. Like, what, everywhere
her
though?
Poor stomach. Yes.
Everywhere?
Like we'd be someplace and she'd be like, oh, like, let me just get my Pepsi. She'd like pull it out of her
imagine being
bag.
at the bar and being like, oh, like I asked for a rum and Coke, but they don't have any Coke. And some lady's like, I got it. Don't worry. Like, I got you covered.
Well, it was for her to drink, so
Right.
she wouldn't
So
share.
she would not share that. Okay,
No.
got it.
She loved Pepsi.
In creating Jodie's look, costume designer Sarah Evelyn cited Lauren Hutton, Patty Jenkins, Greta Gerwig, and Agnes Varda as influences. Emily Blunt partially based her character on Greta Gerwig, explaining, with the warmth and the charm, I guess there's a little Greta in there. I think channeling her as the director of Barbie is what I was thinking.
Yeah, I'm guessing.
Just before the climactic 250-foot jump, the speedometer on the car can be seen to read 88, which is the speed at which the DeLorean activates its time travel device in Back to the Future 1985. Obvious little nod there. Ryan Gosling had previously played a stuntman who uses his training in connection to criminality in Drive back in 2011. David Leitch made the choice to direct this movie instead of Will Smith's Fast and Loose the week before Smith slapped Chris Rock at the Oscars.
Good timing.
That is an
decision.
Interesting sliding doors moment.
Yes.
All worked out for David Leitch. One of the post-it notes in Tom Ryder's apartment says, pretend went to Juilliard, a famous school for the arts. The man who plays Tom Ryder, Aaron Taylor Johnson, began as a child actor and has no formal training at all. One of the post-it notes Tom has up, visible during the shoot-out sequence, is a reminder to buy unicorn food. This suggests that he has been recreationally taking the hallucinogen that Colt was drugged with. Maybe it's popular in the Sydney area. Tom Ryder, Aaron Taylor Johnson, has sticky notes all over his apartment with random thoughts written down. One of them says, is it Momoa or Mamoa? At the end, Tom Ryder's Metal Storm character is recast using Jason Momoa. The famous Wilhelm scream.
Yes, can be heard.
Which has been heard so many times in movies. It can be heard during a fall in a fight scene. The dog.
Jean-Claude.
The dog, Jean-Claude, only understands commands in French. Ryan Gosling's wife, Ava Mendes, owned a Belgian Malinois dog who was trained to only understand commands in French.
That's amazing.
So Jean-Claude,
Yeah.
based off of Ava Mendes' previous animal that only spoke
I guess
French.
hilarious. Like,
Isn't it weird
what
to
a
think
cool
about?
nod.
Like, there are dogs around the world. Like, there's a dog in Japan that knows more Japanese than I do.
yeah.
Isn't that weird?
It is, I didn't think about it before, but yeah, there definitely are animals who know more languages than I do.
I also watched a TikTok from this guy in Texas who like adopted a dog, and like the dog just would not do anything he was saying until he realized the dog was Spanish. And once he started commanding the dog in Spanish, the dog would do like he would
my
sit,
God.
he would do.
It's
yeah.
true. They have no idea what you're saying.
Yeah, a different language for the dog.
You're foreign to them. Quite literally.
Exactly. The Miami Vice theme song plays during the boating sequence. I noticed that. He's also wearing his Miami Vice stunt jacket.
I love that jacket.
For which he loses at the end of
He
that
does.
scene, right?
Yes.
It's all meant to be. A very well thought out film, I find.
Yeah, the writing was very well done.
Alma asks for a producer credit in exchange for giving Tom's phone to Colt. The Metal Storm credits, they do list her as a producer. Exhausted after his international flight, Colt fails to get coffee 5 times. The on-set personal assistant doesn't fetch it. He asks for the coffee lady, but has to drive a stunt instead. The coffee in Gail's trailer is broken. In Ryder's apartment, he gets a cup. I think he had espresso there, but is attacked. And in the hotel room, he gets a cup, but drops it upon discovering the body in the bathtub. Poor Colt.
No coffee for him.
Not caffeinated at all.
None.
Colt brags that he could jump a boat over fire in the Miami Vice stunt show with his hands tied behind his back. Later in the film, he must jump a boat over fire with his hands tied behind his back. However, he is shown cutting his bonds prior to the jump.
Yes.
So was Colt lying? Or did he just have to get out of the bonds? We'll never know. Those are your quick facts. On to honorable mentions. I have a few honorable mentions. Hannah Waddingham as Gail. I think she's going through a similar thing as, I always mess up her name, Lena Headey, Cersei Lannister from Game of Thrones.
Oh, yeah. Lena
Headey? Yeah, I have no idea. But they've both been around for so long, and they only really got international attention after their respective, big series have happened.
It's like artists.
What's that?
It's like artists.
Yeah. Hannah obviously was just in Ted Lasso, but I think she has so much depth and she can do so many different characters. And fun fact, she was in Game of Thrones alongside
no
Cersei.
way.
Do you know who she was?
Oh my God. Shame.
Yes,
Shame.
that was Hannah.
Shame. Yes. Oh my God, ringing that bell.
Wild?
Yeah. You know what? As soon as you said it, I knew exactly who she was.
I also want to quickly honorably mention Jean-Claude as the dog. And Aaron Taylor Johnson as being maybe the next James Bond, which is something I just want to talk about. Because it's you don't think he could do it?
I really wanted Idris Elba. I know he didn't want to do it, but man, I wanted him to be James Bond.
I thought he did at one point. I think they just
he did,
took
but they took too long. Yes,
Yeah.
they did. I just thought he would be so good as James Bond.
Have you seen Aaron Taylor Johnson in Bullet Train? Because
No.
I think that's the Aaron Taylor Johnson they're going for.
Okay. I mean, I loved a good Tom Hardy as well as I mean, I just love me some Tom Hardy.
Honestly,
so.
I think it's an age thing because, Idris Elba is 51.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that they'll want somebody on for 10 years, let's say. Aaron Taylor Johnson, 33, right? So he's going to be in his mid-40s by the time all this wraps. Makes sense. But here's the weird thing about it. Have you heard the weird thing about it?
Okay, tell me.
It's that he hasn't actually accepted it, guys.
Oh, well, that's interesting.
The people behind, and I find this so fascinating in terms of what's actually happening behind the scenes here. Because they announced, normally when you announce somebody's in a role, you're like, hey, this person's in the role. They announced, we've offered the role of James Bond to Aaron Taylor Johnson, and we're just awaiting his response.
Do you think it's cash money?
Yes. I think in some way there's a negotiation happening and they're trying to put pressure on him. So they're putting it out publicly like, hey, we offered him something.
Yeah, to put pressure for sure.
To put pressure, and it also takes a little bit of the blame game off them. So he might be like, hey, I want extra money. Mm-hmm. And they're like, well, we're offering you this and we're going to tell everybody we're offering you the job.
And we'll see what you do.
Yeah, we'll see exactly. So it is kind of a weird, it's just weird. Because even now, I'm looking through and he still has not said if he's doing it. So it's freaking weird, man.
Okay, my honorable mention, the little additions in this movie, the little pieces. So when he's crying, singing to Taylor Swift or listening to Taylor Swift in the car, when Jodie's describing that the whole movie is about what it's all about in front of everyone and it's totally happening, it's totally about the relationship. The plethora, and I mean the plethora of stunts, like you said, it's over exaggerated. Colt trying to make himself a coffee 5 times. Ryan Gosling walking slow-mo out of water. Ryan Gosling's longing looks with the signature Ryan smirk. The wrap-up at the end, how to get Tom to confess. So different than other movies. It wasn't a struggle. It just so happened. It just happened naturally. It was like they were both on the same wavelength. They knew exactly what they needed to do to get Tom to confess, and it just happened. There was no setting up. There was no real, waiting for it to happen. It just happened. I loved it. The Emily Blunt holster gun joke when she's like, I don't know why I did that. I'm just going to holster the gun.
Yeah.
Loved that. The hotel key card. We've all been there. where we get to our hotel room, the hotel key doesn't work. We have
Yeah.
to go back to the desk. They have to reissue it. You go back. It still doesn't work. You have to go back, and it's all because your cell phone or something rubbed up against it and it totally deactivated it. The chemistry between Emily and Ryan and the thumbs up stunt guy.
Yes.
I love that reoccurring joke throughout it. It was
Totally.
just very well. Again, I think this all attributes to really good writing. The fact that these were pieces that were not necessarily necessary as part of the movie, but it made the comedy aspect of it, and it made the chemistry between Emily and Ryan so real.
What should have been?
Okay, I think Colt should have been made the star of the movie in the end,
I agree. I thought they might have been going there,
and
but
not
they didn't.
Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
I mean, that was funny because like it was on a sticky note, Jason Momoa. Like, I get it, haha. But like, there's no way that Colt could have been a stunt double then. Like, I'm sorry, Jason Momoa is solid.
Yeah,
like
he's
he
a
is
little bit bigger.
solidly built brick house, whereas Colt and Ryan Gosling are not. So like they would have had to get another stunt double. But like I just think it would have been such a cool moment to say like, you know, you've always been behind the scenes, but you're just as good to play front as well and do all of your own stunts, and like tied it in as like, yeah, I do all my own stunts. You know, like that would have been a kind of like nice bow.
My what should have been is kind of something that we talked about in that, like, I'm just really sad that this movie isn't doing better at the box office.
Yeah.
And I think maybe we just need to adjust our box office budgets moving forward. Apparently, it's made $145 million at the box office right now. Budget was apparently around $130 million. There's a split with the theaters in there somewhere. So, you know, yeah, it's just one of those things where I think there's a trickle-down moment that's going to happen that in 2025 and 2026, I think we're going to see a lot more smaller budgets and less big swings and a lot more safe plays because of situations like this. And it just makes me sad because, like, I think this movie is every bit as great and amazing and big as it should be.
Yes.
And it's just it's a shame that it's not going to make as much money to make the studios happy with that. Like, they were even talking about doing a sequel, which all of that conversation has dried up now.
Well, and you know what? I think that's why a lot of movies or books that would normally be made into movies are being made into TV shows.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And I think that's the way everything's going, because you can still have that large budget, pay the actors, and get the return on having big TV series go to streaming.
Yep.
So like this could have been an 8-episode, 10-episode TV show.
Totally.
I love it as a movie.
Yeah.
But I agree that I think they're going to have to shift. Like, I mean, look at Disney Plus. The CEO has come out saying that they're going to have to cut budgets, blah, 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 because they've spent too much money and they're not getting the return on the streaming. And they're not doing as well on streaming. I mean, look at the streaming services. They all went up this year in price. Like, it's just, everything is just suffering right now.
And they're also not doing as well with their movies. So they've said they're only going to do 2, maximum 3 Marvel movies a year now because of stuff like the Marvels.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, a couple big flops and all of a sudden you're in trouble. It's, yeah, I think bigger budgets in movies, budgets are going to come down in movies. I think for the most part, that's actually a good thing. I think some actors get paid enormous amounts of money that you're like, how is that even possible? I can't even fathom that much money to make a movie. But I'm sad that this one isn't making as much money.
Same.
Overall rewatchability.
Okay, like I can tell you right now, if I've given 5s out this year to other movies, there's no way I can't give a 5 to this movie. This is a 5 out of 5 for me on all categories.
Oh, across the board, a 5 out of 5.
Absolutely, because I know I've given a 5 potentially this year or like late 2023. So I have to give a 5 to this one. This is the best rom-com I've seen in a very long time.
I will agree. Don't quite have 5s across the board, though. Chemistry, I agree. Perfect 5 out of 5. I'll just do thirst factor 5 out of 5, soundtrack 5. Cheese. If you're ever wondering what a perfect cheese movie is, this is a perfect cheese movie because it was cheesy at times, but it was dang good cheese. We loved it. Storyline, I'll give a 4.85 just because certain thematic things kind of drifted a little too long in my opinion. And imagination of 4.68. It is I mean, it's based off a series, but extremely loosely based off a series. I think it is very imaginative. It's just not a perfect score. Imaginative. It's pretty high up there. That's an overall score of 4.92 out of 5. So
That's pretty good.
That is in the upper echelon. That's like a top, probably the best movie of the year outside of maybe Dune and maybe Furiosa. Like a
So
top
far.
three, yeah, top 3 movie this year, I would say. And if you haven't seen it yet, I would strongly encourage you to.
Thanks for listening.